Hi girls and boys, Thursday story time. Now then, today's story is all about pancakes. And do you know why it's all about pancakes? It's all about pancakes because although we're only on Thursday, on Tuesday it's Shrove Tuesday, which is Pancake Day, and that's one of our favourite days in our house. We love it. It's a great day because we all love pancakes. And in fact, this Shrove Tuesday, my children, because they're on holiday, have said, can we have pancakes for every single meal? So I've said that they can, some savoury and some sweet. They love them. Anyway, this is a story all about pancakes. But it's more than just about pancakes. It's about perseverance, it's about never giving up, and it's about who you can ask if you're stuck. So I want you to think about all of those things while you're listening to the story. Mr. Wolf's Pancakes by Jan Finley. One day, Mr. Wolf was feeling hungry. He fancied some pancakes. Yum, yum, he said, licking his lips at the thought of a big pile of fresh, delicious pancakes. Mr. Wolf had never made pancakes before, so he took his big recipe book down off the shelf and looked inside. But wolves can't read very well, and Mr. Wolf had trouble making sense of it. If you were having trouble reading a book, what would you do? Do you know what I'd do? I'd ask somebody to help me. You could ask a mum, or you could ask a teacher, or you could ask a dad or a granny. You could ask anyone at all. I'd ask someone to help me. I wonder what Mr. Wolf does. He went to get some help from his neighbours. That's a good plan. Ask your neighbours to help. He called on Chicken Lickin, who lived nearby. Please, can you help me read this? He asked. No, said Chicken Lickin, slamming the door in the wolf's face. Bang! Oh dear, sighed Mr. Wolf. He sat down slowly and read the book, and he worked out what he needed all by himself. Wasn't that clever, girls and boys? He spent some time. He was very resilient. He didn't go and cry. He didn't give up. He went back and he looked at his book and he spent some time and he worked out what he needed. Can you tell from the pictures what he needed? That's right, flour, eggs and milk. So, Mr. Wolf looked in his cupboard for all those ingredients, but he couldn't find anything he needed. I'll go to the shop, he decided, and he settled down to write a list. But wolves aren't very good at writing, so Mr. Wolf called for Wee Willie Winkie. Oh, hi, Wee Willie Winkie. You're very clever, said Mr. Wolf. Can you help me write my shopping list, please? No, said Wee Willie Winkie. Go away. And he slammed his door. Bang. There's no need to be like that, said Mr. Wolf, very quietly. Poor Mr. Wolf. That's the second time he's asked for help. That's the second time they've slammed the door in his face. What do you think he's going to do? He could go and ask somebody else, or he could try himself. Mr. Wolf sat down and tried really hard with his writing until he'd made a shopping list all by himself. Have a look, girls and boys. Can you see he's made a couple of mistakes? He's put one of the g's backwards and he's put an extra s on eggs and He's got a capital L, and his flower that's not the way we would spell flower for flower, but does it matter? Absolutely not. We're allowed to make mistakes, that's fine. And look, he's got his shopping list. Well done, Mr. Wolf, that's what I say. Now, Mr. Wolf needed to count his money. Do you think he was good at counting money? Nope, wolves aren't very good at counting money. So he went to his friend, the gingerbread man, for some help. Do you think the gingerbread man's going to help him? Let's see. Hello, gingerbread man. Please can you help me count my money, please? He asked politely. No, I'm too busy to bother you, said the gingerbread man, slamming his door. Bang! Oh, poor Mr. Wolf. I'm sure that wouldn't happen to you if you asked for help. I bet someone would help you eventually, wouldn't they? Even if mums and dads are a bit busy to start with, or grannies or grandpas are a bit busy to start with, or teachers are a bit busy to start with, eventually we'll get round to helping you. Poor Mr. Wolf, he's got no one who's helped him. So poor Mr. Wolf had to sit down and count his money. It took him a very long time. He had to check it 3 times before it was right, but he did it all by himself. What a resilient wolf he is. Mr. Wolf needed a basket to carry his shopping in. He thought, I know who's got a basket. And he went to call for Little Red Riding Hood. Now she's sweet, girls and boys. Surely she'll help him. What do you think? Please, may I borrow your basket? Mr. Wolf asked very nicely. I'm not lending my basket to you, said Little Red Riding Hood. Now clear off. So Mr. Wolf set off to the shop without a basket. I'll manage, he said. So Mr. Wolf went to the shop. He looked at his list and he remembered what he needed. He counted out his money and he carried the eggs, milk and flour home, all by himself. Now it was time to make the pancakes. But wolves aren't very good at cooking. So Mr. Wolf went to call on the 3 little pigs. Can you help me cook my pancakes? I'll share them, he said kindly. No chance, chorused the pigs, slamming their doors. Bang, bang, bang. Mr. Wolf was very sad because nobody wanted to help him. Poor Mr. Wolf. It's tough when there's no one to help you, isn't it? That's when you really need to show such resilience because you've just got to keep going. You've just got to do it yourself. You've got to try really hard. Sometimes life can be hard, can't it? And for Mr. Wolf, today's been a very tricky day. Mr. Wolf went home and started to make the pancakes all by himself. Soon there was a huge pile of delicious pancakes on the table, all ready for eating. Now, as Mr. Wolf had been making the pancakes, a lovely smell had drifted out of the kitchen. All his neighbours could smell it, and it made them feel very hungry. They all wanted pancakes too, so they decided they'd try their luck. What do you think, girls and boys? Do you think Mr. Wolf should share his pancakes? I think it would be the kind thing to do to share the pancakes, but I'm not sure that Mr. Wolf feels very kind after the day that he's had today. Did any of them help him? I don't think they did they? Let's see if they come and ask them nicely. So they knocked on Mr. Wolf's door. Give us some of your pancakes, the rotten lot said. Oh, why should I give any to you? said Mr. Wolf. "Not one of you would help me." Well, we'll help you eat them," replied Mr. Wolf's nasty neighbours. "Anyway, we're not going away until you give us some." Mr. Wolf thought very hard for a moment. There was really only one decent thing to do. "Oh, very well. You better come in then." Wasn't that a nice, kind thing of Mr. Wolf to do? Or was it? Let's see. Mr. Wolf opened the door wide, and whoosh! His greedy neighbours all rudely pushed him aside and dashed down the hall. Mr. Wolf shook his head and shrugged his shoulders. He followed them into the kitchen, and when they were all in there, can you guess what he did? Snippety snap! He gobbled them up, all of them, and that was the end of his most unhelpful neighbours. And then Mr. Wolf, with his bulging tummy, was not quite full, so he sat down and ate his pile of pancakes. And he did that all by himself too. After all, there was nobody else around, was there? Naughty Mr. Wolf. I thought he was kind and helpful. He really shouldn't have eaten his neighbours, should he? I'm not sure that was a good moral to the story, but it was quite a funny ending. It made me chuckle. Anyway, your task for today is to have a little look. There's a sheet all about Mr. Wolf's resilience and how he was resilient, what he did that was resilient, and who he asked for help and who you could ask for help if you need help. Along with that, we are having a Thursday meeting this morning at 11 o'clock. If you can come, I'd love you to think about what your favourite pancake fillings are so that we can discuss them in our meeting, in our little get-together. I'm looking forward to seeing lots of you there. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.